Hi guys, I hope everyone's having a great day today, enjoying this gorgeous weather. I'm going to answer a couple questions. First question, how have you been spending your quarantine? So far, I've mainly been at home, doing school, doing things around the house, spending time in my Bible, or just finding random hobbies around the house or outside of the house so that I'm not bugging my mom all day. Second question, what have you been doing to build your relationship with Christ? First of all, I've had a lot of time on my hands, so I've really been able to spend more time in God's Word and really focus on what He's telling me through what I'm reading. I've been joining Westwood's youth group on Sunday nights, and their youth pastor, Jason, has asked everyone to get with a partner within their small group to walk through 3 passages each week with each other. And he asks 6 questions, and he also asks us to do the HEAR method. For those of you that don't know what the HEAR method is, you basically walk through each letter with your partner. H stands for highlight, E stands for explain, A stands for apply, and the R stands for respond. So you highlight your passage and then you walk through the rest of it. The questions that Jason asked us were, what does this passage teach us about God? What does this passage teach us about me or us? Does this passage identify a sin to avoid or confess? Does this passage reveal a promise to claim? Does this passage offer an example to follow? And does this passage present a command to obey? Well, you may be thinking that these questions are just super easy to answer, but they are not. Let me tell you. If you're really diving into God's Word and having the intent of learning something and praying to Him, asking Him for you to learn something and for Him to show you what the passage is saying, these questions are not easy, but they're a very good challenge. One of the first passages that Jason gave us was Psalm 95. As some of you know, this is a passage that calls us to worship the Lord, and then it goes into more detail of why we should worship the Lord. This is really a good eye-opener to me because throughout all of this quarantine and staying at home and not really being able to see people or do things that you want to do, you see why you should still worship the Lord and not complain, because oftentimes I'll find myself just around the house complaining that I don't have anything to do or anywhere to go. But it's an eye-opener to me because a lot of people around the world are currently losing loved ones or in the hospital or just working, or some people are losing their jobs, losing their homes. And that's just a good eye-opener to me because I'm here in this beautiful area, nice house, and I'm complaining about not having anything to do. So that's a good eye-opener to me, and it's definitely been growing me through God's Word and growing my relationship and my walk with Him. The third question, how has time at home improved or hindered your relationship with your parents? Well, I'm already homeschooled, so I'm already home throughout the week, but I'm definitely not used to being home this much. So I think it's definitely been opening for me to definitely pray more to God and ask for patience, not only for patience with my family, but patience with myself, because I'm one of those people who likes to be on the go, and I don't like to be at home all the time. But as far as my parents go, I think just having more patience with them and learning to get along with them and not get aggravated as much as I usually do, that's definitely been a biggie for me. Fourth question, how are you staying in touch with your friends? Mainly the same way I did before quarantine, just probably with more FaceTime calls and more random texts throughout the day, like, hey, how are you doing? How can I pray for you? Just different things like that. Fifth and final question, what has been beneficial about attending weekly lit Zoom meetings? I definitely think that trying different things like Zoom meetings or just outside of the church or outside of the youth room has been good and beneficial both, because you're being pushed to find a different way other than what you're used to, and that that alone will grow your relationship with Christ. And I know it's definitely grown my relationship with Christ. Just being able to see my friends and my family through the Zoom call and what Eric and Drew have both been teaching, that's definitely been eye-opening to me.